Hey, I'm Brian and this is the OnePlus 8. I'm not going to go as in-depth as I did in my OnePlus 8 Pro review, but I still think there are some important things to say about the little brother, especially why I think you're better off spending your money elsewhere. The OnePlus 8 features a very similar design to the 8 Pro. In fact, it's basically a smaller version of the same device. And that is not to be underestimated. The 0.2 inches of missing screen space make the phone a lot more compact. The camera bump is less substantial too, but the regular 8 is not IP certified. I have the glow color here that OnePlus likes to advertise, and it's definitely very photogenic. But the silver with the rose gold shimmer is not really my style. I much prefer the matte glacial green, or as I call it, light blue, which also attracts less fingerprints. The premium vibration motor, alert slider and stereo speakers are also here. The display of the OnePlus 8 is great, sharp at 1080p and super smooth thanks to the 90Hz refresh rate. It also gets just as bright and vibrant as the Pro, but the similarities also mean that it's just as curved and also just as susceptible to false inputs. This color variant of the 8 has 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, and I really can't tell the difference to the 8GB RAM variant. Second only to the 8 Pro with its 120Hz display, this is the fastest phone I ever tested with instant app load times and no stutters. But the difference to past OnePlus phones is honestly negligible. We are at a point of diminishing returns here. This is also thanks to Oxygen OS, which is still the fastest Android skin and the one I prefer with its stock Android nature paired with tons of customization. The fingerprint sensor is super fast as well, just like the face unlock that is now possible again thanks to the punch hole selfie camera. The 8 of course also has 5G, but having tested it, I don't think it's a must-have for a while. The camera system on the 8 though is very similar to OnePlus cameras from the past years. The 8 Pro is the first OnePlus phone to have a truly flagship level camera, while the 8 still has the same 48MP sensor as the 7T. In addition to that, you also get a 16MP wide angle and a 2MP macro camera. It overexposes sometimes and doesn't have as much contrast and dynamic range in its shots. The colors are also less natural. That said, in good conditions the photos are overall not too far off from the Pro, but in more challenging conditions they start to drift apart. That especially goes for low light, where it crushes the shadows a lot more. The wide angle is also nice, but not as great as on the Pro. What's missing from the 8, which the 7T has, is the zoom camera, and that's a bummer. The macro camera in its place is pretty bad, something I find puzzling because the 7T takes way better macro shots with its wide-angle camera. Battery life is very solid at about 6 hours of screen on time, and charging with Warp Charge is super fast, but there's no wireless charging at all. Having said all that, the 8 is still an amazing phone of course. Great design, a great screen with high refresh rate, amazing performance and a good camera. I actually really like it, especially because it's more compact than the Pro and I feel bad not recommending it. But the problem is the price. All of the things I just mentioned also apply to the OnePlus 7T, which is 25% less expensive, and that phone even has a zoom camera, a better macro mode, and maybe even more importantly, a flat screen. What you're paying a premium for with the 8 is 5G, and at this point that's just not worth the price jump. It's not even millimeter wave capable. Until 5G is worth it, you're probably gonna be at the point of upgrading again. Then there are phones like the Moto Edge, which offers basically the same experience, including 5G at €100 less, but has way better battery life. And the proposition for the 8 is gonna get even worse when OnePlus does release its new budget phone. Yes, the 8 Pro is comparatively even more expensive and obviously not as good of a value as the 7T either, but it does justify its price with flagship features like a truly great camera, the 120Hz display, water resistance and wireless charging, none of which the 8 has. I really wish that there would have been a version without 5G, but unfortunately Qualcomm is in the way there. If you enjoyed this video, you know which buttons to press, don't forget to press that follow button on Twitter, and don't forget to stay home and stay healthy. I'm Brian, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.